Hello, good people. So I need to clean up my painting table. It has started to look pretty messy. So I guess I will go and do that after talking for 8 minutes. So I really like to paint the terrain for the old world. I generally just love painting terrain. I think it's fun and it's something different, and often it has less hassle or weird little details that I don't really care about, but I feel like I have to paint because it's there. And anywho, so painting terrain for the old world is for me fun, like plain fun. So let's start out with the walls and do some base work on that. I do neutral gray from AK Interactive, and then I go in with dark sea gray from AK Interactive. If you want to do this with the Citadel's range, then good on you, big spender. But it's generally just a question about going up in brightness on the grays. So I do pale gray next, also AK Interactive. And for each dry brushing, I do it a little lighter. And I end up with white gray from AK Interactive. I think that it's kind of like, what's it called? The white one that breaks all the time for Citadel. Doesn't matter, the white gray one. Then I use a black wash from the Army Painter, and I wipe it off with a towel afterwards to not dull everything down too much. There is some weaving and some fences as well in this set, and for the basket weaved fence, I don't know what the English term is for that, I use sentry dust. For the wood parts, the wood planks or whatever, wood fences, I use deep brown from AK Interactive, and it's kind of like Morfang brown from Citadel, only it keeps working. And you have to be careful not to hit the gray stuff. For the three trees, the unfenced wood, I use saddle brown. Basically, it's just to add some variance, so it doesn't become the same brown all over the table. So I could have used deep brown instead, but I went with saddle brown. And afterwards, I go in with the dark brown wash from Vallejo. You can use, I guess, Agrax Earthshade if you want to pay double, triple. That's an option. And I do that for all the wood and weave. And a fairly generous layer. Next I go in with a dry brush with the Deathclaw Brown from Citadel. And I give it a careful dry brush, trying not to hit the walls, the bricks, the stones. Always try to avoid the stones when possible. But that's what I mean about scenery is fun to paint, because often you can make it look really, really good with not a lot of effort. And that's my kind of thing. I use Tau Ochre Orange, I think that's the name of it anyway, that's what I've written in the corner, to highlight the weaves. And it's simply just to make the details stand out a little bit. It's not overly important. There's some skulls here and there, and I use Screaming Skull for that. Because, well, it hasn't broken apart yet, and it is a good color. Good coverage. For all the metal on this one, I use oily steel. It's lead belcher, basically. A little bit brighter than lead belcher, I would say, but it's lead belcher. So maybe Iron Hand Steels is the Citadel equivalent. And I use that for all the metal parts that I don't want to be gold. And that being said, let's move into the gold. Why not? We have the metal out anyway. So I use old gold from AK Interactive. And was a bit too thin for my liking, even though I shook the pot quite a bit. So I kind of wish I would have used Retributor armor or something a little bit warmer, but I made my choice and now I have to live with it. So I had to give it 2 or 3 layers. I think some of it got 3 coats, some of it got 2. And next is time for prepping for the grass. So all the areas that I'm going to cover in glue and flock, I give a walk flesh citadel layer. Simply because if I don't cover it perfectly with the PVA glue and the flock, then it doesn't strike as much as missing. For the actual grass, the plastic grass, I use mood green, because it's a nice vibrant green and it works fairly well. And careful not to hit any of the brick. And the second to last part is to add a wash to the gold and to the metal. Gold is a metal, but you know what I mean. And I use oiled earth from Vallejo, and I use that on all the parts that I gave a metal color. And as the final touch for the lamps, I discovered that I had Laventer's yellow from Citadel, so I used that one. And now for the flock, I do a 1-to-1 of PVA glue and water, and I put it on a brush that I hate, and then I just sprinkle a lot of flock on it. And I actually have some original Citadel flock that I decided to use for this. Bought it about 5 years ago, haven't really used it, so it felt very old worldly. And I just smear it around and the end result looks like this. So this will be the last terrain video for a while. I don't quite know what to do next besides cleaning my painting table, because that just looked horrendous. But walls and fences painted up. I think I spent maybe 5-6 hours on this in total, including cutting the stuff free from the sprue. And I think for a quick game of the Old World or Warhammer Fantasy, if you're up for that, I think this looks fairly well. I mean, it's nice looking to put on the table. So, thank you so much for watching. This is 8 minutes of your life you spent listening to me, and I do appreciate that more than you can imagine. If you haven't done so already and feel like it, please do subscribe, it makes me happy. If you found this video useful at all, seek mental help and also leave a like. Thank you so much for your time and have an awesome day. Bye.